that have been serving the Holy Name, chanting the Holy Name, eager to learn more about the Holy Name for many, many, many years. So I suggest to you all, take the next 3 days, associate with them, find them out during Prashadam, during Japa, whatever, be with them, serve them, hear from them, learn from them, from each other. And that is a sure way, I can tell you, I'm very confident about this, that this retreat will be very, very successful. That when you leave on Monday evening, or Tuesday morning, or the following Sunday, however long you plan to stay with us, your hearing and chanting will be so invigorating, so much more elevated than it was an hour ago. Just a couple of things. Yes, the schedule for today, of course, we are very fortunate that Marge will be presenting 2 sessions, one about to start now, and his topic is the gift of the Holy Name. It's a 2-part seminar. So that's from now, 8:30 until 5. At 5, we'll have a bit of a break for about half hour. And then Smita Krishna Prabhu and Rukmini Devi Dasi will present their topic from 5:30 to 7, entitled The Temple of the Heart. Then at 7, we will be treated with a ecstatic kirtan by His Grace Ishwara Puri Prabhu, who's also coming to participate. And thereafter, we'll have Prashadam. At around 7:40. Then tomorrow is a day dedicated to kirtan. We're having about 3 or 4 hours of kirtan. So we hope that all of you will also participate in that. So it's a special Sunday program starting at 10 in the morning. Normally we start at 11, but tomorrow we're starting at 10. There'll also be a presentation by myself about kirtan being the process of spiritual realization for this age. Thereafter, more kirtan, and then of course the Sunday Love Feast. Sometime after the Sunday Love Feast, allowing us all time to digest that wonderful feast, we will have the second part of Maharaj's presentation, the gift of the Holy Name. That will be at 2:30 until 4. Following that, a break, and then a topic, the rays of the benediction known by His Grace Radha Prabhu. Following that is more kirtan, and then Dana Prashadam at 7:30. So I'm sure all of you have these schedules, WhatsApp, or email to you, so if you need some clarification, please do refer to it. I doubt we'll veer too much of it. It's a pretty simple schedule, but now and then there may be a 5 or 10 minute adjustment here and there. Monday, of course, is a public holiday, 17th of June. And it's also part of the Nirjala Ekadashi, a day traditionally many devotees choose to take off and just fast the whole day and chant as many rounds. So we also want to facilitate that. There'll be a little bit of discussion, especially from Srila Prabhupada in the morning. But we encourage you all to try and come as early as possible. We'll start at 4:30 in the morning with Mangalarati followed by Japa. We'll have a little break, Prabhupada's Guru Puja, Kirtan, class by Prabhupada, and then we'll just have Japa. We'll be very fortunate also that His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj will join us that morning as well in Japa for most of the day, right through until 1 o'clock. We'll break at 12:30 for the Raj Yoga Arati, and at 1 we'll have a final session of concluding words, exchange of realizations, and so on. Thereafter there'll be lunch Prashadam, Ekadashi Prashadam, and we can have more japa for those of you who are able to stay with us. One thing is, when you have some time, please note to Bhakti Katha Mataji about Prashadam for Monday, because many devotees do fast, but we also want to facilitate those that are not fasting. If you are not fasting and would like Prashadam, which we are eager to prepare for everybody, but we don't want to prepare for 100 people and only 20 eating. So please do take a moment to indicate to her at the book counter on our left side whether you will be taking Prashadam or not. Please help us with that. It's a really important little detail that we need, but it will really help us with the preparation. So to conclude, thank you again so very much for coming and participating. We hope that you will be very attentively focused on all the sessions. You've got, like I described, some very experienced chanters devotees who are very much dedicated to the holy name of Krishna, that will be making presentations. Please participate through hearing, ask questions. There's some interactive sessions as well. Please take part in all of them. And yeah, we look forward to everyone together improving, increasing, and refining our experience of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai.
We just going to test the audio. Yep, and then Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, well, is this loud enough? Can you hear me properly in the back? You have to turn it up. I can turn up my system here too. How's this? Anyway, yes, it has to be loud enough, without going overboard. But thank you all very much for coming. I really appreciate it tremendously. I've been involved in and sort of conducted many of these types of events actually over the years in different countries, different places. And normally, of course, we're at it for maybe 4 days, sometimes 5 days, from morning till night. This is a little abbreviated, but that's fine. There's all sorts of wonderful subject matters to do with the chanting of the holy names, and even some exercises we will do practicing different things to do with chanting. So it's very interesting. I'm sure there are many things that you'll learn which maybe weren't so clear to you, or maybe you forgot about a bit. There's a lot to remember in Krishna consciousness. But please stick with us and really get into it. Really try and take it seriously. One aspect of that is, and we did ask Mother Rukmini to publicize this, although I think maybe it was only yesterday I told her. Was it? Yeah. Everyone should have some way of writing things down, or if you've got a device, a telephone or something, then if you're able to sort of type reasonably quickly, then you can have your telephone out. Because, we're going to give you a few lists of things to do, things not to do, in regards to your chanting. And we're here not to just be entertained. Some of our speakers are very good, they can tell nice stories and make you laugh sometimes, and that sort of thing. But this is an educational program that we're doing. It really is. And so we're all, particularly yourselves, you're all here as students. And what student at school or at university particularly, what student just goes and just sits there? You're not going to make a lot of headway towards getting your degree if you do that. You've got to have your pen and paper and everything, and just be very attentive and make copious notes. And then, well, then you can do very well, then you can pass, you can be successful. So the same principle is here. At least, if you haven't done it, if you didn't even bring a telephone with you, should I congratulate you? In one sense. But on the other hand, somehow or other, at least tomorrow, if you didn't bring something today, at least tomorrow, please bring a pen and paper. Usually it's quicker to just scribble down notes than try and type it out on a miniature telephone keyboard. If you haven't got here today, well, Hare Krishna, what can I say? But you know what they do say, just in this regard, the sort of the experts of doing seminars, they say, if you just sit and listen, you may retain up to 7% of what is being talked about in the seminar. If you write it down, if you simply write it down, you can retain up to 50%. So it's just a huge difference. And if you write it down, you really write it down, like, really in a focused way, and then if you go back over your notes on a regular basis, then they say you can retain up to 95%. And I remember the first Japa retreat I attended was in the Drakensberg. His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj was the main person conducting, and there were a couple of other devotees presenting. And I wanted to reproduce the same seminar. So I was, previously I was a reporter. I was a journalist, but I was a reporter, and I knew shorthand, and able to keep up with the person as they speak. So I was writing like mad for all those days. Then I went off to Russia, and like a week later or two maybe, I reproduced the whole thing. And it was very satisfying, and the devotees, wow, they really appreciated it. So, okay, let us begin. I'm going to begin first of all with some prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanande, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaura Pachaya, Nirvishesha Shrigyavadi Paschitya Deshatane, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasnati Gaura Bhaktivedanta, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vachikam Churubhyascha Kripasthubhya Evacha, Patitava Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Right, okay. First of all, we are going to focus on the subject, the aspect of the subject matter of quality of chanting. Quantity is there, of course, but let's focus on quality, first of all, for the time being. Srila Prabhupada, I was just reading, actually, an hour ago, Srila Prabhupada was talking about this, about quality, how we have to actually, when we chant Hare Krishna, we have to actually chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and not some abbreviated form of the mantra. The classic, or any classic is sticks the ground up, gay. You can do your 16 rounds, I don't know, half an hour or 45 minutes and feel, wow, I feel really good about That's not the way to do it. Because Krishna is a person, and when we're chanting, he's present in his names, and we are interacting with Krishna in the form of his names. So we have to actually chant his names, and not some abbreviated version. Sometimes there are different types of abbreviations. One is just slurring everything. Another is dropping some names out. We've heard of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. There's also different versions of the Hare Krishna Mini Mantra. Like, just listen to this, just listen. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's going okay. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. That's a version of the Mini Mantra, which I've heard. And then slurring. If you know someone, particularly if you know someone, and they don't address you nicely, they don't speak your name nicely, like we have Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, right? You all know him. He was leading our kirtan. If you were to address him as Ravindra then he's going to think, what's he going to think? He's not going to think that you really care about him. He'll probably think you don't take him seriously or something like that. So we should really chant the actual Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Prabhupada says, in what I was reading just now, that we should make sure that we chant the mantra. And we may think that, if I chant like this, it's going to take so long to do 16 rounds, it'll take hours. But Prabhupada says, no. If you do it nicely, then gradually, in a natural way, it will accelerate. And you'll find you can chant 16 rounds in, say, within 2 hours, which, is good. If you get less than an hour, something's wrong. I would say probably, if you get less than an hour and a half for 16 rounds, probably something's wrong. So if someone doesn't pronounce your name properly, even though they know you, then it's wrong. Something is wrong. It shouldn't be like that. And the person being addressed will just feel uncomfortable and even hurt. So Krishna's a person and he has feelings. And we need to address them appropriately. It's really not just important, it's vital. Otherwise, how do you expect it to feel? Okay, so our first point then is attentiveness. Quality of chanting, attentiveness. How we apply ourselves consciously to our chanting. And I am going to play right now a short, and if it's as much as a minute, I'd be surprised. But it's just a short recording of Srila Prabhupada being asked by a devotee. The question is, how do I control my mind while I'm chanting? Keep focused like that. So, let me see where are we. And oh gosh, I have to locate it. How's that? Well, before I do that, then I'll address the point. And it's another short recording, very short recording of Prabhupada speaking. Here it is. Here's the one I wanted to do first. So are we ready? I mean, not yourselves, but the sound. People, let's hope so. So yeah, this is Srila Prabhupada talking about controlling the mind. And it's really brief and to the point. So listen carefully, please. Here we go.
It's very difficult to control my mind when I chant. What is the controlling of mind? You have to chant and hear, that's all. You have to chant with your tongue, and it's how we hear this. What is the question of mind?
Did you get that? What is the question of mind? You chant with your tongue, and you hear the chanting. Full stop. That's the program, and that's it for the rest of your life. Yeah. Were you able to hear that properly? Yes. Okay. So yeah. And Prabhupada loved chanting. Whenever Prabhupada got a moment in between meeting people or things happening, he would just pick up his beads and start chanting, just every time. And Srila Prabhupada's chanting, and just in general, Srila Prabhupada's Krishna consciousness was extremely deep. Extremely deep. And just to get an idea of the depth of Srila Prabhupada's heart, and his absorption in Krishna consciousness in general, I want to play this recording now. And if you don't mind, just be there to manage it. It's slightly longer. That might be 2 minutes. I don't think it's more than that. But it's Srila Prabhupada expressing his heart towards Lord Krishna.
Krishna, at that time, Madhurma, he was talking like Sanatana. Madhurma, Sanatana Goswami at that time had no temple. He was hanging on the tree. So, Madhurma was talking with him, Sanatana, bringing all these dry chapatis and his stale. And don't give me little salt. How can I eat? Sanatana Goswami said, where shall I go? Whatever I may you kindly accept. I cannot go, old man. So Krishna had to eat that. Because the Bhakta is offering, he cannot refuse. Jimam Bhaktya. Real thing is bhakti. What you can offer to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. What you have got? What is your value? And what is the value of your things? It is nothing. Therefore, the real thing is bhaktya. Real thing is your feeling. Krishna, kindness. I have no qualification. I have no start and follow. But I applaud this thing for please say. This way we are saying. Don't be bhakta. Always be careful. You are dealing with Krishna. That is very important. Thank you.
Did you follow that? Anyone struggle to follow that? You struggle. Well, Prabhupada was talking about Sanatana Goswami worshipping Madan Mohan. And Madan Mohan would speak to him the deity, would speak to him. And Sanat Goswami, he would just go out and bake some food. And often it was just like dry chapati, even like stale, old, rotten, Prabhupada said. But he'd offer it to Madan Mohan, to the deity. And Madan Mohan would complain sometimes. You know, what is this? Can't I even have some salt with my chapati? And Sanat Goswami said, well, what can I do? I'm an old man. So, you know, you just have to take, it's the best I can do. And then Srila Prabhupada, as he's explaining like this, that what can we offer? Everything belongs to Krishna anyway. Even if you can offer something mostly, it already belongs to Krishna before you offer it to him. So what's the use? What is the value of your offering? It's basically worth nothing because it belongs to Krishna anyway. So the main thing is bhakti. The main thing is the feeling of the offering that, here, my Lord, I brought this for you. I'm offering this to you. And as Prabhupada is saying that, then Prabhupada starts to cry. Real transcendental emotion. You know, Prabhupada, generally, or just practically all the time, he was extremely sober. And he would hardly become emotional like that. Tears was just rare in the extreme. But here we heard that he expressed with real emotion that, here, what can I do? It all belongs to you anyway, but I'm offering it, so you please accept it. Yeah. So, you know, you could say beneath Srila Prabhupada's sobriety, his soberness, and how composed he was, and so focused on preaching, presenting what is Krishna consciousness, like the philosophy. So, but beneath that there was a very deep heart of great transcendental feeling, great transcendental emotion. But one of the rules of for the very advanced devotees is don't show how advanced you are. It's one of the main rules. Keep cool, keep sober, and keep balanced like that. So, okay, so then it comes to us, of course. What should our mood be when we are chanting? And let me just read a little bit, it'll take a couple of minutes, from a lecture of Prabhupada's about how we should feel, what our attitude should be when we're chanting. And when we're chanting means, be it japa, be it kirtan, maybe particularly japa. But any time we're chanting, there has to be a mood like this. So Srila Prabhupada says, Abhyasa yoga. Abhyasa yoga means yoga practice. Practice it. So this whole Krishna consciousness movement is to practice transferring from one kind of consciousness to another. So we require practice. Just like one man can run a few miles, I cannot run even 1 mile. He has practiced. We see some boys, they run on, they practice it. Strength of the heart increasing by practice. And if I run, my heart will be palpitating because I have no practice. So by practice, everything can be attained. So our method is to pray to Krishna to give us the necessary strength. That's all. Otherwise, by regular practice. So how is it possible to practice? Therefore, this one practice, chanting Hare Krishna and hearing, that is very nice. That's our practice. Yes. And praying to Krishna, please give me strength. Hare, O energy of Krishna. O Krishna, I am fallen. I have no strength. Please accept me. That's all. I have no qualification. I am frail. I'm trying, but I'm failing. All these appeals should be made. And Krishna is all-powerful. He can do anything. Even we, if we do not perform, although we're trying our best, if we fail, Krishna will help us. Just like a child tries his best to walk, but he falls down. The mother picks him up and says, all right, come on, walk. Like that. You get the idea? I think there's some nice things there, very nice. So what should be our mood when we're chanting? What should be our mood? I am going to now make some suggestions of different types of attitudes, states of mind we can have while we're chanting to really help us. You know what Lord Chaitanya said, Trinada Pisa Vichena, Tarora Pisa Vishvana, Amadina Vana Dena Kirtaniya Sadhari. That if you chant very humbly, lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree, then you can just chant always. You can just carry on chanting without interruption. But otherwise, if we're sort of half-hearted and like that, then it's so easy for our chanting to become interrupted and for our interest to drop. And then we decide, no, I want to do something else. I've chanted for a little while now, I'll do something else. So what sort of ideas should we have in our minds? Those of you who've got pen and paper or something, just something where you can note some things down, please note these down. We can consider that how unqualified we are for Krishna consciousness, and therefore how we are totally dependent on mercy to uplift and purify us. So in other words, it's like a mood of helplessness. And something which is related, similar, sort of almost the same, maybe a bit of detailed difference. To have a keen awareness of your faults. And if you see your faults, then you can have a genuine feeling of humility and loneliness. It's one thing to tell yourself that, oh, I'm very fallen, but it's just words. There's another thing to be aware of your fallen condition and then feel, gosh, I actually am fallen. Sometimes I suggest to devotees that they offer a prayer as follows: My Lord, I'm such a fallen soul, and I know I should feel it. I should have a real feeling of humility. What is my qualification? But the problem is, I'm so unintelligent, I cannot see how fallen I am. So my Lord, please help me to see how fallen I am. And then if I see it, then I can have a genuine mood of humility based on the reality of my condition. Right, so there's two there, a mood of helplessness. I'm unqualified, so I'm dependent on mercy. Then there's an awareness of our faults, and then a more sort of positive one, you could say, appreciation of the mercy of the holy name and the good fortune that we have, that we are chanting. That's really something to be grateful for. Then another one is an awareness, cognizance, that Krishna is present in his name. And therefore we have to be mindful of that. And not just in a robotic way, just go on and go on and go on. Mechanically. Be cognizant of Krishna's presence in his name and deal with the names in those terms. Then another thing which is related, and these are all sort of connected, a feeling of a lack of strength. And how about this one? This is a good one. I mean, they're all good. A feeling of remorse for having left Krishna and come to Chatsworth or Phoenix or South Africa, whatever, the material world. A feeling of remorse that I was with you, but I left you. You didn't leave me, I left you. And sure, look what happened to me. And along with that, a desire to again be accepted. Right, then, a desire, a prayer of longing. I mean, it's like, anyway, okay. A longing for connection. Please help me to give you my heart, my Lord. And sort of a more simple one, a desire to be more useful in the Lord's service. And a desire to be empowered in the Lord's service. Now, these are all nice things to consider when it comes to our chanting. Every now, it's not we have to just think and think and think and think all the time while we're chanting. And so we're not really focused on the chanting, we're focused on our minds. But maybe in between rounds we can just think one of these things, maybe once or twice, just, oh yeah, that's right, remind ourselves, and then get into our chanting. Because we don't want to just be on the mental platform. A desire to have a greater taste for chanting. And very nice one, meditating on the various meanings of the different names. Then a mood of offering the names to Krishna. They're your names. What right have I got? But yeah, a mood of offering. Please accept my chanting. Please help me chant. So I hope you noted those down. I hope I wasn't talking too fast. If you weren't able to, if you don't have anything for taking notes, then maybe like tomorrow you could bring something and someone can help you. You could write down some of these things, because there's more also. So yeah, so you can look at those. There's, what is it, like 15 or 12 or whatever. And you could choose. Maybe choose one, maybe choose two. Don't try to do all of them at once. They're all good. So maybe you could choose one, maybe two, focus on them, really try and kind of saturate your heart with these ideas. And they'll help us. They'll definitely help us in our chanting. Yeah, I want to read something to you. It's short, it'll take, I think, a minute or two. Spoken by one devotee, ISKCON devotee, about chanting. Very nice. So he said, you can die any time. When you chant your 16 rounds, you should think, this is my last chance to cry for the mercy of Radha and Krishna, because one day it will be. So that when you're chanting rounds, you should think, this is my last chance to cry for the mercy of Radha and Krishna. And when you come to the last round, you should think, this is my very last chance to try to please Radha and Krishna. And when you come to the last mantra of the last round, the last mantra of the last round, chant in such a way that Radha and Krishna are really convinced of your feelings. And when you come to the last hooray, think that if Krishna didn't hear me with all these mantras, then in the word hooray, let me call on Srimati Radharani with my last breath. And then we should chant another 16 rounds in the same way. Do you know who that was? Can you imagine? It was Ayendra Prabhu. Yes, okay. So, these are some ideas for you devotees. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to chant japa for just a few minutes, not for a long time. I would say maybe 10 minutes. And just try to embrace at least one of these ideas. If you wrote them down, you could just choose one. If you didn't write them down, you heard them, I'm sure you can remember at least one. And try to embrace it, not like thinking about it, and the chanting becomes like a background noise. But just as we're going to start, just consider that, and then try to dive into the chanting. The way we're going to do it, devotees, we're actually going to chant for 10 minutes. Oh, where are my special beads? Go and see some special beads. You've got nice gentle beads, right? These are Tulsi beads from Vrindavan, given to me by a devotee some years ago. And I will not chant on them, because I have chanted on them. I won't know, because they're so heavy, they're too heavy for my hands. But would anyone, at least a man, would anyone like to chant on these beads?
Yes.
Who would like to chant? It's good. I may give them away or auction them or something like that sometime if I don't use them. So, okay, devotees, we are going to chant on our beads for 10 minutes. I will be timing it. And for the first 5 of those 10 minutes, devotees, we are going to chant. What would the term be? In Russian, you would say synchron. Yeah, we're going to chant actually together. You get the idea? Not just, I chant and you chant and everybody chants, in their own way, but together as a group, as one, right? As like with one voice between all of us. Okay? For 5 minutes, we're going to do this. And then we'll do another 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, as we normally chant. Yeah, and then following that, we are going to do something super exciting, I tell you what. Wow. Let's wait and see. Okay, so here we go for 5 minutes. Now you follow me, right? You're chanting with me. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. So that was 5 minutes, slightly more actually. Now we're going to just chant as we normally do, just chanting our japa. But, there's an extra, one thing is before you start, try and remember or just read one of those particular attitudes we just mentioned of humility and helplessness, dependency, and desire for mercy like that. Just think about that momentarily and then chant. But then while you're chanting, you see, chanting involves our tongues and our ears, of course. And it involves our sense of touch. We're manipulating the beads. What about, sense of smell? There's not so much of that involved. What about the sense of sight? It's a strong sense. Because sometimes, surely, when we're chanting, we find ourselves sort of looking around at this and that. Someone comes in, oh, who's that? And, that sort of idea. So it's possible, after the opening of the Krishna Balaram temple, there is a letter or conversation, I think it's a letter, in which Srila Prabhupada says to the management, please try to dress the deities in the morning after Mangalarati. Try and dress the deities as quickly as possible and then open the curtains so the devotees can chant japa in front of the deities. It didn't really happen. And in general, it doesn't really happen, but it's interesting that Prabhupada expressed that it is nice to chant in front of the deities. Or we have these beautiful Krishna Leela paintings here. The Lord is present. So you can, when you're chanting now for the next 5 minutes, You could look at the deities actually, or you could look at one of the paintings and really try and focus. Sometimes we give out to the devotees in these types of retreats, we give out little mantra cards, and we have them just look at the mantra, and just look at the mantra for like half an hour. Here we're just doing 5 minutes, but just look at the mantra and chant. So yeah, you can do like that, and it's a lot better than just sort of looking around and what's happening and what are you doing and what's she doing and what's he wearing and these types of ideas. We call that looking around just sort of absent-mindedly. Sometimes we call that radar japa. Radar japa. Yeah, you can do that, yeah. And devotees falling asleep, sometimes we call that dive bomb japa. And chanting while speaking to your friend, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, how are you doing? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Sometimes we call that jibba japa. But let's try. I mean, it's up to you. This is sort of voluntary, this aspect. But you could look at, say, a nice picture or deities like that and chant for the next 5 minutes. And let's try to really get absorbed. Okay, so 5 minutes or so from now, just as normal. Krishna, Krishna.